there. Big time shot there from Jake Paul. That is what you call a turning point, folks. Okay, a minute and a half left here in round 5, and Jake's looking for the finish. He's hurt. On the ropes. Jake Paul pulling it on.
Best is the real deal experience. Oh my God, Jake Paul, the kids love him. And then you have the legend Mike Tyson.
I got Jake Paul knocking him out. I love Mike Tyson. He's got
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson.
And we've had an accidental headbutt. I heard
Jake Paul seems pretty relaxed. Okay, because I'm like, you can't run it.
Hence today we are providing Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul complete fight highlight. Yep, the fight no one wanted. But nevertheless everyone could not wait to witness. It was the clash of a boxing titan against social media. Powerhouse, the man who once oversaw the ring, against the one in charge of YouTube thumbnail policy? Finally. 7 months of preparation resulted at T Arena, crowded with both fans and critics anxious to see whether Jake's Instagram confidence could withstand Tyson's decades of grit and strength. Jack PA, that is what you call a turning moment. People, approximately a minute and a half after the first bell, you could see that neither combatant was in there for a pleasant exchange. Tyson could be 58, but he brought his usual intensity, and Jake with his youth and tried to keep the legend at arm's distance. He didn't pay me, so he didn't pay. Where's the lawsuit if you didn't pay me? It's a lot of __. Logan as well as Jay know what they are doing, so by round 4 the tension was explosive, with every punch, jab and near miss keeping the crowd on the edge, curious to know how it all played out. Hang tight. This fight didn't go as everyone expected, and the ending left fans with more questions than answers. Mike Tyson at 58 wasn't showing up for a casual sparring session. He came to do what he's best for decades, and Jake was about to get a boxing education. He didn't ask for the legendary at T Arena in Arlington, so there was a surprise waiting for him. Landing a couple fast jabs, attempting to keep Tyson at bay as if he were fending off any old opponent. Here's the problem about Tyson: no amount of reach was going to frighten him tonight. He established his reputation tearing down giants, and no mistake would do any damage. By the end of round 1 you could see the doubt creeping into Jake's eyes, as if he was thinking, is this guy really 58? Jake put in effort to prepare for this fight, and it showed. He was quick and sharp and trying to look as if he had the upper hand. Mike is like a snake, he'll pop out on you. He get there too quick, but if you charge him you're going to smother everything, because everything he push off his legs, so he too close like this, buddy. If you give him room, oh man, you everybody get knocked out. Going backwards like this, you. In round 2 Tyson dropped any pretense of holding back. His expression shifted to that classic Tyson look, complete intensity with nothing held back. This wasn't some young showy influencer in front of him, this was a kid who felt he could go toe-to-toe with a leg. Tyson started moving forward, his moves calculated and savage, closing the space between them with the type of fury that makes every blow count. Jake was attempting to jab to keep light on his feet, but Tyson was swallowing those strikes like they were nothing, treating Jake's jabs like minor inconveniences on his road to a victory. Keep his name out there, you know, long as he connect his name to mine, he gonna keep my name out there. If remember what he said, you may way, he didn't pay me, where's the lawsuit? If you didn't get paid, where's the lawsuit? So is a bunch of __. But as I mentioned earlier, they know what they doing, both brothers. Tyson got to work hitting heavy, brutal body blows that left Jake visibly wincing. Each punch connected with a force that rattled not only Jake's body, but his entire approach. The young advantage people were so ready to speak about was fading quickly. Tyson, the alleged elderly guy in this bout, was reducing the hoopla into dust. Punch after punch, Fanatics Fest is the real thing experience. Oh my god, Jake Paul, the kids adore him. And then you have the legend Mike Tyson. I had Jake Paul knocking him out. If I love Mike Tyson, he's by round 3 the balance of the fight was all Tyson. Jake looked like he was still trying to keep up, trying to remain nimble, but Tyson was relentless. Every step forward and every blow delivered had the weight of experience and raw power behind it. The contrast in strength was clear. Jake was throwing punches too sure, but Tyson's hits were like thunderclaps, while Jake landed like whispers. Here we go live. Might some more of wars summoned him because I entertained. The Tyson kept pressing forward undeterred, unstoppable, as if he turned back the clock a few decades. And Jake, the look on his face said it all. Gone was the cocky confidence replaced with a hint of desperation. It was the look of someone realizing far too late that he might have bitten off way more than he he could chew he kept throwing punches, but Tyson's presence alone was enough to make those punches look insignificant. Round 4 will be remembered for one thing: Tyson's infamous uppercut. It's the kind of punch that has plagued fighters' nightmares for years, and Jake had a first-hand experience. Tyson geared up and unleashed the uppercut, and you could almost feel Jake's knees collapse for that split second. It was like watching a tree fall slowly and inevitably, but Tyson wasn't done. He followed up with a flurry of heavy shots that left Jake stunned and barely able to stay on his feet. That uppercut was the turning point, that moment when any doubt about who was in control vanished. Tyson had been dominating, but now he was just putting on a show of what raw power and skill looked like. Jake, for all his hype, was barely hanging on and trying to find his footing. Tyson wasn't here to let him recover. He was here to prove that even at 58 he could still hit blows that would make younger fighters think twice. Right hand, maybe the side back of Papo Gisop. Do and look at this nice combination. A little bit uppercut from Jake Paul, back slow on his feet. He was already set up. After round 4 it was clear Jake was struggling. Gone was the confidence and the bravado, gone was the flashy over-the-top personality. Now he was just trying to survive. Tyson's punches had taken their toll. His ribs were bruised, his stamina was depleted, and his energy was visibly fading. Tyson had done what he does best: tear down and opponent till there's nothing left. It was the classic Tyson plan, and it was working to perfection. You could see Jake fighting to hold on, hunting for some way to fight back, but the reality was inevitable. Tyson was too strong, too skilled, and too relentless. This wasn't the same as sparring or facing other YouTubers or MMA fighters. This was a raw and merciless education from one of boxing's most iconic personalities. Jake was a youngster out of his league, a novice who had stepped into the ring with a seasoned champion, and there was no easy way out. By the conclusion of round 4, Jake was done. Tyson has demonstrated that age is only a number when you're a fighter of his caliber. He provided a master lesson in power, endurance, and technique, leaving Jake with nowhere to hide. The audience knew it, Jake knew it, and Tyson knew it. He'd won, and he'd done it convincingly. As Tyson stood there victorious, he looked like a guy who simply ended another day at work, while Jake looked like he'd been through a cyclone. That is man on the planet, one of the most devastating heavyweight coup punchers of all times, Iron Mike Tyson didn't just win the fight, he dominated it. He'd come to prove that the baddest man on the planet isn't a title that fades with age for Jake. This was a brutal reality check, a lesson in humility that he probably wasn't expecting but won't soon forget. Tyson hadn't just won, he'd reminded everyone of the difference between a legend and a rookie with something to prove. After the fight, the reactions were explosive. Fans were on their feet, so social media was blowing up and everyone was talking. Tyson had done what he does best in Jake. He'd been put in his place. Credit to him for getting into the ring with a legend, but Tyson had showed that even in his late 50s he had every bit the fighter he once was. Jake had underestimated him, and he'd paid the price for it. For the fans, this was a moment of pure satisfaction. They got to see Tyson doing what he does best, unleashing his power, his skill, and his experience in a way that left no doubt about who he is. The baddest man on the planet still has it, and he's not about to let anyone forget it. If you're loving the action, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and comment your opinions below, and of course stay tuned for more insane matchups like Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. This one definitely isn't finished yet. Stick with us for all the latest updates and highlights.